Hello everyone and welcome to Realistic Realtors. We're with the Superior Coaching School. I'm Bill, this is my partner Nick. And what makes us so different, our coaching school, Nick, we actually want to put everything into action. We're going to help you grow your business. If you follow our steps, you can right now move your business into a better place. So right now, Nick, we're going to talk about our Volume 13, Lead Generation.
Yeah, lead generation is what we're going to talk about today, and what we're really going to dive into is the process, okay? So every step that we're going to show you today when we're talking about lead generation is really something that you want to make repeatable, okay? So you want to really break down your business, whether your last 12 months you generated all your business from referrals, or maybe it was all online. Whatever the process and the system that you have in place, you want to make sure it's repeatable. So I wanted to read a quote from Zig Ziglar, just to get everyone excited about what we're talking about today, because oftentimes, Bill, don't we know that when you throw around the word lead generation, a lot of realtors kind of get a little bit wheezy. They're like, I don't really...
they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a very uncomfortable subject for a lot of realtors out there. But Zig Ziglar, the great Zig Ziglar says, for every sale you miss because you're too enthusiastic, you'll miss 100 sales because you're not enthusiastic enough. So you have to really, really prioritize lead generation. And we've talked about this before. A realtor's number one job should be what?
Is go out there and meet people.
And generate new business, right?
What so many people don't realize, it starts with yourself. Right when you get out of your car, whatever parking lot you're in, have 3 business cards in your pocket, right? That is a simple form of lead generation. I was at the bagel shop the other day in line. I gave out my business card. I went to the gym later in the day. I gave out my business card. That's just an example of daily touches of social networking to build up your lead funnel.
But that means you really have to own and appreciate that you are a realtor. You got to let people know, right? So what would you say to a realtor out there that has maybe done good business, right? There's a lot of realtors listening to this program that have done really good business, but they still kind of get caught up with the whole, do I really want to let everybody know that I'm a realtor, right? Like they don't put it out there for public knowledge. What would you say to them to get over that mindset?
Man, if you want to make a living, you got to get over that. My wife will tell you that I never ever met a stranger. She's like, you will talk to anyone and you'll be friends with anyone. And that's just the way I am. To be successful in real estate, you have to put yourself out there and don't be afraid to tell people what you do. Yeah. That will actually stifle your business. You have to have that magnetic personality to just go out there and just touch everyone you can.
And I think that's really where we wanted to start today was, again, you have to be so enthusiastic, right? As Zig Ziglar say, you have to be so excited to meet new people and to network, because really as a realtor, that's your number one job, is to generate new business. So let's dive in a little bit more into how we're going to do that. Really what we want to remember is that you don't want to throw all your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure you utilize multiple lead generation sources. And I think it's really important to realize that your past clients should be your number one source of business, because it's how you utilize those past clients to generate more business. And so for those realtors out there who are new into the business and maybe don't have a lot of past or don't have any past sales, past deals, that becomes your sphere and working your sphere. So, Bill, how important do you think your sphere has been to your business?
Probably 75% of my business on an annual basis, and it's about touching them all the time. And we're all guilty of it, even myself, where you're like, wow, I didn't reach out this month the way I should have, like the month before. And Nick, there's so many different ways we can reach out to our past clients, right? It could be remember me cards. It could be client parties. It could be an email, it could be a text, could be like, hey, let's meet for coffee. And Christmas cards, holiday cards, really important. And that's how we have to keep touching and dripping on our social network to grow our sphere, which is all lead generation.
Yeah, and again, it really comes back to that mindset. So you got to be enthusiastic enough to get new business, but then you have to be open enough to reach out to your sphere and kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit and give them a reason to give you business, right? So you have to be willing to ask, right? That's, I think, a big step that a lot of realtors miss is they don't ask their sphere for business. You should be willing to ask for referrals, right? That's a big step in the process that we miss as realtors. Now, we ask for testimonials once the deal is closed, but we don't ask for the new business.
And my ask goes like this, Nick. after I get their house sold and we're walking out of the attorney's office after closing, I'll say, hey, Nathan, do me a favor. I enjoyed the process that we had. And could you do me a favor? I grow my business because you and I had a great relationship and we did a good job together. I would love if you could refer your friends, maybe some of your coworkers, my way. That's how I take care and feed my family, is just repeat business. So it's not, Nathan, what I make off of you, and I want every realtor listening to this, it's not how much you're going to make off this deal. It's how you can connect with that client, nurture that relationship. They will get you more leads, and that's how you grow your business. So many realtors are just focused on what they're going to make off that deal. I want you guys to think beyond that deal.
Yeah.
Think about that relationship you can have with Nathan and keep growing your business in a bigger direction.
Exactly. So that's a great model for how to ask for those testimonials, ask for other business. What I would use as well for your sphere is when you have people in your life that you know. So for example, I have a very large sphere and connection on social media through the people that I know, through my better half, and she and I, we know a lot of people. And I'm never afraid to go out and ask for business, because the way I frame it is I frame it like this. I always reach out. Maybe it's a direct message on Instagram, maybe it's a LinkedIn message, Facebook, or a text. And I'll say something personal, just, hey, just checking in. Hope everything's well with you and the family. I ask about them. I ask about their business. What are you doing now for work? How's everything going? Is business going well? You ask about them, naturally, the response is to ask about you.
Sure.
Hey, how is your business going? I think I saw you a realtor. Yeah, well, I am. Yeah, I'm doing very well. We have a real estate team now, and have one under contract, and we have a couple listings, right, that I have coming in. And you start talking about your business, and then you say, who do you know do you know anybody that needs to buy or sell? I'd love to help them.
Sure.
Right? You're saying I'd love to help, and you're not afraid to ask that question. I think that's a big step that a lot of realtors miss.
So we're talking about drumming up business through the clientele we have. What's really important now, as I said, I just walked out of that closing. Nathan and I just had a great experience together. And then I'm going to ask Nathan to do what? To send me a testimonial. So if Nathan sends me a testimonial, then what can I do with it? I can go put it on Facebook. I can go put it on Zillow. I can go put it on my website.
Yes.
And that's so important when we have validation from our past clients, because people read those testimonies. What do we do when we go onto Yelp and we look at a restaurant? We look at the reviews.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We book a hotel, we look at reviews. So same thing here. We need the testimonials to back up our business.
It's third-party validation, right? You want to see what everyone else is saying about the person that you're about to trust with the most important financial decision of your life,
Sure.
right? And so you want to make sure that they're well reviewed. And so really, let's take it to this process, okay? So we have this process here, and you see here that every time you have somebody in your life, that's whether it's a sphere, it's a new lead that comes into your CRM, you want to take them through this step-by-step process to take them basically from somebody you don't know very well, a stranger, all the way to someone who's going to refer you business, right? And it's that process of taking them step by step to get there that's very important, to build your business. So now what I would say, and because you bring up a very good point about social media, right, and getting the testimonials afterwards, what I would say is that you want to break this down to a process. And we have a process that we put together and would share with you guys. But again, the process is you have a new lead, you have someone in your sphere, you want to make sure you are totally connected on social media. You're going to start sending them homes, you're going to start working them as a buyer or a seller, and you're going to help them with their real estate needs. And then after you do a good job and you're going to close on them, you want to have that process for post-closing, as Bill said, asking for the testimonial. Now, one important step that a lot of realtors are starting to incorporate now, a lot of good realtors, they're getting video testimonials.
Sure.
And I think these are really going to be something in the future. So if you have the right process in place, you want to create an email template that has all the different sites. You Google My Business, your Facebook referral business page. You can have your LinkedIn page as well, maybe your Zillow website. You're going to have a couple different links. There's a couple of platforms out there that kind of group these all together that you pay for a subscription. But ultimately, if you did a good enough job explaining how important this is for you, and you say, I worked hard to help you and your family, I would love if you could take 15 minutes out of your day. It would only take 10 to 15 minutes to write a couple or a testimonial that you can copy and paste to these 4 sites. And if you would, you can even just read it off in a quick video message and respond to it in this email. And you can use a service like BombBomb to have them respond with a video testimonial. That is what you're going to take and put on social media, right? So if a picture's worth 1,000 words, we always said, like, how much is a video worth, right? Yep. And so sharing that on Facebook. Bill, do you know some people on Facebook who have thousands and thousands of friends?
Of course.
So how nice is it to then put that video testimonial of them reviewing you and sharing it with all of them, right?
Well, that's what it's all about. And I think we need to get back here, Nick, to our slide. You were starting to talk about methodology. It's attract, convert, close, and make the client happy. So you just discussed all that. So why don't you break it down? First, we're going to attract a client, right? And then after we attract a client, we have to convert them to a closing. And once we convert them to a closing, we have to show them appreciation. So whatever your method is, if it's through social network, if it's through LinkedIn, if it's through Facebook, if it's through your bowling league, if it's through teaching, we have to take those steps you see on the slide behind us and figure out what works for you, and you'll be successful if you follow those steps.
Yeah, and it's about the process. So just let's review a little bit, right? I think it's important to note that we get leads from many different sources, right? And so everybody's business is run a little bit differently, right? So your business could be run a little bit different than mine, right?
Right. Mine's all sphere of influence. It's social networking, personal touch, contact.
And my business is basically run on networking online, social media presence, content creation, being a content creator, and knowing people. So when you take that, when you understand, first of all, where you're going to be attracting business, you can then understand what's the best method of follow-up, right? And so for me, it's going to be adding everyone on social media, making sure to constantly be in front of them and connecting with them and reaching out to them. For you, it might be, as you mentioned, with cards. And with
might be dinner,
party.
might be coffee, might be a party,
Exactly.
might be a phone call.
And so then as you convert them, and now you're going to start showing them homes, and you're going to close the sale, close the deal, then it's that follow-up that might come. If for you, it might be better in an email. I found that for clientele that's 35 and under, they're going to prefer a call or a text message to remind them where to review them, right? Or maybe it's a direct message. I might directly message someone on Facebook. Oftentimes, I just directly reach out from my business page, say, "Hey, you can review me here." But it's that process again. So again, it's making sure not to throw all your eggs in one basket, but identifying which baskets are giving the best return, right? And so once you identify where you're going to be generating that business, it's converting the business, and then making sure to ask for the referrals and turning your past sales into your biggest promoters, right? And once you do that, I think you're going to find that once you have the system in place and then you can repeat it, you're going to start taking better care of your people and start getting more business. So I think with that, we're going to bring on a special guest.
Yeah,
right?
we can go in, right to our interview. We were lucky enough to have one of the top agents across the country come in, and we interviewed this person for about 15, 20 minutes, and they'll share all their wares and secrets on lead generation. So watch the video, and we'll see you next week.